friends, welcome back to my channel Quest for Knowledge. Today we are going to go through with the economics assignment and we are going to complete the full economic assignment. So don't go anywhere and do go through with this video. So first of all, we need to understand what is price flooring. Price flooring means to prevent a price from falling below to a certain level, यानी कि प्राइस नीचे नहीं गिरना चाहिए एक हद से. So that is that to prevent a price from falling below to a certain level is called as price flooring. When a price floor is set above the equilibrium price, quantity supplied will exceed quantity demanded and excess supply or surpluses will be the result. When government law regulate prices instead of letting market forces determine prices, it is known as price control. ये गवर्नमेंट करता है प्राइस को कंट्रोल करने के लिए. अब जानते हैं what is price ceiling. What is price ceiling? Price ceiling prevents a price from rising above a certain level. When a price ceiling is set below the equilibrium price, quantity demanded will exceed quantity supply and excess demand or shortages will result. So here what is the thing is that if the price ceiling, it is fixing a price not to raise more above than a certain level. Okay, that is price ceiling. In this what will happen, the demand will be more than the supply. That will be the result. And in price flooring, the supply will be more than the demand. What is the difference now between the price flooring and price ceiling? Difference between price ceiling and price floor is it is the price control mechanism which is referred to a set of law that the government enact in order to regulate prices in the market. There are two types of price control mechanism, namely price ceiling and price flooring. Price ceiling refers to the mechanism by which the price for a good is prevented from rising to a certain level, and its contrast to that, price floor is the mechanism by which the price of the good is prevented from falling below a certain level. Price ceiling are the law enacted by the government. We can use the demand and supply framework to understand price ceiling. In many markets for goods and services, demanders outnumber suppliers. Consumers who are also potential voters sometimes unite to convince the government to hold down a certain price. Let's expand this example by thinking about the hypothetical town. Rent was fairly stable, but then the town was featured on a top 10 places to live article in a popular magazine. Eventually, rent control laws were passed. We can use the demand and supply model below to understand how the market changed based on this event. So first, when the article was published, okay, they lay on the intersection of the supply curve and demand curve, corresponding to the price of $500 and equilibrium quantity of 15,000 units of rental housing. As you can see here in the diagram, when the article inspired more people to want to move to their imaginary town, it shifted the demand curve from rental housing to the right. It means the demand was this. After the article, the demand was this much. It means the demand raised. Okay, D2, D1. So it's the new market at the new equilibrium from E0 to E1. So the price of the rental unit also rose from $500 to $600 and the quantity also increased from this to this. Okay, the quantity also increased from 15,000 dollars units quantity of rental housing to the 17,000 units. Okay. But here we have the first rule of economic is, so here in this the government what they'll just apply the rule that the price should not increase more than $500. So this is called as price ceiling. It means the price should not raise from a certain level. So this is what the government does. It is a price control mechanism which is done by the government. By not letting to the mechanism of the demand and supply, the government, when it tries to control, he uses the mechanism of price ceiling and price flooring, and this diagram is the best example to show about the price ceiling. So whatever be the quantity, the price must be sealed. Okay, it should not be $700. The price is being sealed that the rent should not be more than $500. The first rule of economic is you do not get something for nothing. Everything has an opportunity cost. So if renters get cheaper housing than the market requires, they tend to also end up with lower quality housing. Price ceiling are enacted in an attempt to keep prices low for those who demand the product, be it housing, drugs, auto insurance, etc. But when the market price is not allowed to rise to the equilibrium level, quantity demand exceeds than the quantity supply. It means demands exceed than the quantity supply, and thus a shortage occurs. Why? Because demand is more than the supply. So that is why shortage occurs. Those who manage to purchase the product at lower price given by the price ceiling will get benefit. But seller of the product will suffer. Why? Because he is selling in very less price. Along with those who are not able to purchase the product at all, they are also gonna suffer. So quality is also like to deteriorate. Now let's understand what is price floor. Price floor is the lowest legal price that can be paid in a market for goods and services. Perhaps the best known example of price floor is the minimum wage, which is based on the normative view that someone worked full time ought to be able to afford a basic standard of living. The federal minimum wage for the end of 2014 was like $7.25 per hour, which yielded an income for a single person slightly higher than the poverty line. As the cost of living rises over time, Congress periodically raises the federal minimum wage also. It means a certain price level which is fixed, minimum value which is being fixed, that is called as price flooring. Price floor are sometimes called price supports because they support a price by preventing it from falling below. इससे नीचे नहीं जाना है, इससे नीचे प्राइस नहीं गिरना है, falling below a certain level. Around the world, many countries have passed a law to create agricultural price support. Farm prices and thus farm income fluctuate, sometimes widely. So even if on average farm incomes are adequate, some years they can be quite low. The purpose of price support is to prevent these swings. The most common way price support work is that it means price flooring works is that the government enters the market and buys up the product, adding to demand to keep prices higher than the otherwise would be. We can take a look at the demand and supply model below to understand better the effect of government programs that create a price above the equilibrium. This particular model represents the market for wheat in Europe. In the absence of government intervention, the price of wheat would adjust so that the quantity supplied will be equal with the quantity demanded at the equilibrium point. But what happens? There are various policies to keep prices high for farmers, keep the prices above. What would have been the market equilibrium level, which is the price? And the text shows the horizontal line in the diagram. The result is the quantity supplied in excess of the quantity demanded. So when quantity supplied exceeds when the quantity demanded, surplus exists. When we supply more than the demand, there will be surplus. So no need to write this. This is just an example, but you may write only what is price flooring, what is price ceiling. Examples like rental purpose is example of rent and example wage. You can write here for the price flooring, and diagram you can do it. Okay, this diagram is important for the assignment. Our example is that the concept plays. Here you can see the equilibrium is here. Okay, the market itself runs with the mechanisms of demand and supply. When the price floor is being set by the government that the price should not go minimum than this, then there is a problem. Okay, why? Because when we set the price above than the equilibrium point, so what happens? There is excess of supply. There is excess of supply than the real demand. So if a government is willing to purchase excess agricultural supply or to provide payment for others to purchase it, then farmers will benefit from the price floor. But taxpayers and consumer of food will pay the cost. So there is pros and cons of both in the price flooring and in the price ceiling. So what to do? Neither price ceiling nor price floor can cause demand or supply to change. They simply set a price that limit can be legally charged in the government. Remember, changes in price do not cause demand or supply to change. Price ceiling and price floor can cause a different choice of quantity demanded along a demand curve, but they do not move the demand curve. Price control can cause a different choice of quantity supplied along a supply curve, but they do not shift the supply curve. So now, who are the beneficiaries of price flooring and price ceiling? In a perfect economy, price ceiling and flooring are inefficient and can be argued it benefits no one. However, price ceiling and price floor do promote equity in market. Price floors such as minimum wage benefit consumer by ensuring reasonable pay. Price ceiling such as rent control benefit consumer by preventing sellers from overcharging. In the long run will ensure viable and affordable home. Seller and consumer want to maximize their benefit through high profit or low prices. However, given the reality of self-interested people, this type of mentality leads to winners and losers. Many people will fall short or out of luck without the government intervening in market activities. In other words, the interaction between seller and buyer is far from perfect. In a healthy economy, government regulates may not necessarily maximize seller and consumer benefit, but they do ensure equity, which is in the long run benefits all. So the beneficiaries, when we say, it is no one. For everything it has its own pros and cons, but though to a maximum point it benefits, it creates equity to all. Let's move on with a conclusion. Price ceiling prevents a price from rising above a certain level. When a price ceiling is set up below the equilibrium price, quantity demanded will exceed quantity supplied, and excess demand or shortages will be result. Price floor prevent a price from falling below a certain level. When a price floor is set above the equilibrium price, quantity supplied will exceed quantity demanded. So there will be excess of supply and surpluses will be result. So price floor and price ceiling often lead to unintended consequences. Now let's move on to the number 2. This is the number 1 assignment. The full farm about, let's write about family farm. The fulfillment of the need can be done through the right investment of the financial resources in the right time. In the case of family farming, a proper investment should be done in buying a land that supports the agriculture. For family farm, one can utilize the basic resources which are water and land by striving to improve and maintain the quality of soil so as to maximize the output from food production. Agricultural production relies heavily on the land, water and natural resources and has direct impact on the quality of the environment. Land, machinery and irrigation system, these services may be used either by individual enterprise or to maintain the farm as a whole. In a very long run, of course, few resources are truly fixed in supply. A family farm may own a plot of land, some grains, farming implements, maybe a pair of bullocks and also the labor services of the family members. Introduce the family farm can produce corn and use part of produce for consumption purpose and protect clothing, housing and various services in exchange for the rest of the produce. use the resources to fulfill their needs. No individual has unlimited resources compared to the need. The amount of corn that the family farm can produce is limited by the amount of resources it has. The amount of corn that the family farm can produce, it's through that it can procure in exchange of corn, which is also limited. As a result, the family is forced to make a choice between the different goods and services that are available. It can be more of a good or services only by giving up some amount they will be able to get other goods and services. Example, if the family has to make a choice whether they want a big house or more agricultural land. Everyone faces scarcity of resources and has limited resources to use. So the thing is that they has to use it in a best possible way to fulfill their needs. They have to make proper decision and optimum utilization of their limited resources to carry their family farming thing. So that is all about the second assignment. Let's understand fixed cost in hotel business. The word fixed cost and variable cost in the hotel industry operation are being used to distinguish the costs that have a direct link to the hotel occupancy and those have no direct link or connection to the occupancy or business. First, what is fixed cost? A fixed cost is such an expense which are being never replaced as the manufacturer's volume increase or decrease within a pertinent range. The fixed costs are fastened in a place as prolonged as operation remain within a certain size. Fixed costs are not as much manageable as variable costs because they are not based on their volume or operation. Fixed costs will not be affected by any changes. They do have a less direct relationship to the business volume, that's why they do not change significantly when the number of sales increase or decrease. The word fixed shouldn't be taken to signify static or unchanging, but just to point out any changes that may take place in such cost are related only indirectly, are far away to changes in volume. What are the examples of fixed cost? Land and building, human resource, sales and marketing, employee wages, the health premium of hotel employee, payroll, reservation, advertising, fixed plans for telephone and internet. If you have taken the subscription for the Wi-Fi and all, you have to pay it fixed for the hotel. Music, entertainment, subscription of newspaper, magazines, these all are called as fixed cost. Variable cost is such expenses that generally differ in portion to the volume of goods or services that a business generate. However, the cost differ determining on the volume of activity. The cost usually increases as the volume of activity increases and do decrease as the volume of activity decreases. The variable costs are being distinctly linked to the hotel occupancy and business volume. When the business volume or occupancy increases, the variable cost increase. As the hotel occupancy decrease, the variable cost do decrease. What are the examples of the variable cost? Food and beverages, cleaning supplies for the housekeeping, flower arrangement, decoration, laundry operation, uniform for staffs, amenities for guest room, printing supplies, laundry and water treatment plant chemicals, entertainment, telephone and fax, transportation, management fees. So these all are the variable cost of the hotel management.